Welcome to Holy Hot Mess. My name is Savannah, saved, slightly chaotic, and all the grace in between. Here we talk about Jesus, like all things Jesus, the walk, the struggles, and just like I said, everything in between. So let's get to it. I know that was not my actual introduction, but we'll get better, guys. I promise. Anyway, today's topic is going to be about corn. And I obviously don't mean actual corn, but I hope you get the memo. Oh no, I just realized this has been on the whole time, like blaring. It's my daughter's little sound machine thing, because not sound machine, but where I can hear her because she's currently sleeping. So let's get to it before she wakes up. And I hope you didn't hear that part in the introduction. If you did, I apologize. Like I said, mom life struggles, slightly chaotic. It's really the truth. But anyway, like I said, today we're going to be talking about corn. We're going to be talking about like OnlyFans, which is essentially the same thing in a sense, modesty, and pleasuring yourself, because I don't really want to say the other word. I don't really know how YouTube feels about this kind of stuff, and honestly, I don't know, sometimes it's weird to kind of say it. I don't know, I'm comfortable with it, but you know you know what I'm talking about, I hope. Anyway, so we are talking about those things today because they're really heavy on my heart. I just feel the Holy Spirit moving through me and Jesus really telling me, like, this is a very strong topic that needs to be talked about. And I know there's many people that do already talk about this, but we all have different opinions, but we all are following the Bible. So at the same time, maybe something's not said with somebody, or maybe you haven't heard anything about it at all and you're just really curious where it all stands. So that's why we're going to be talking about it today. It's really heavy on my heart because if anybody has ever heard about Lily Phillips, she is doing all kinds of things and she's very high in that industry. And the only reason I know about it is because it popped up on my YouTube. Somebody was interviewing her. And after looking into her, I was really sickened by how many Christian podcasts or like faith-based podcasts or YouTube channels that reviewed her or interviewed her were just bashing her. It was sickened me because I'm like, okay, we're Christians. Why? Last time I checked, if you're going off the Bible, you know that it is nobody's right to be judging. Like that is that is all on Jesus. When your time comes, he's the only one that can judge us at the end of the day. So I have really no idea why all these people are sitting here judging her, bashing her. She already said in one of her interviews that doesn't bother her. So it's like you're just feeding into Satan that has his hooked so deep in her and what he wants. And she already feels so less valued of herself. You're just feeding it. Like, why would you do that? If anything, like, we need to be praying for her, guys. Like, she needs Jesus, and so does everybody in that industry, not just her, but she's about to do some really crazy things, and that's the only reason why it's so heavy on my heart. And the way she talks about herself, it hurts my heart because I used to feel the same way. I used to think I wasn't worthy of anything else. I wasn't I was only here for that purpose for men to look at, and to look at like a piece of me and be here for their pleasure and all the things. And it's not true. It's not true at all. But when you're just so, and she's not even depressed. Well, at least she says she's not. There's things going on internally that have to be, because you don't do the things that you're in that industry and just feel complete joy. It is destroying your soul. So I'm not here to bash her. I'm just saying it's destroying her soul, whether she wants to admit it or not. And all we need to do is be praying for her, because that is what Christians are supposed to do. We're supposed to be here, and not even just Christians, just anybody that, follows God and follows the Bible. You should be uplifting people like that. You should be praying for them, asking for, God's guidance to go to them. And it's not that God's not trying to reach them, but more prayer is only going to help reach them, because it is going to be such a strong, with all the prayer, it's going to be such a strong, hopefully heaviness that hits her one day, where God can finally reach her and she realizes it, or anybody in that industry. And it'll change their life. There's people that have been in that industry and have been saved. So it is possible. Anything is possible. I have seen the craziest transformations. People that are turned trans, people that were and partly trans, they didn't quite, maybe change all their body parts, but they were, guys were wearing makeup and growing their hair out. They look like a woman, more like a woman than a woman look like a woman, which is crazy because they're actually a dude. And then now they look like themselves. And so I'm telling you, like, you can be saved. It can change. So all I'm asking is, if you know about people in that industry, do not bash them. Do not, just pray for them. Like, and ask everybody, that maybe to pray for them, or people that know them, if you see them or hear them, talking down on them, just please tell them to pray for them, because that is what we need to be doing. We need to be praying over them, for them, that God reaches them. So that way, they end up in the kingdom of heaven at the end of the day. We don't want them to end up in hell. It is not this peaceful place. Oh, it's a party. We all made it here. Like, no, that is not how it is going to be. If you don't know anything about hell, I suggest you go look it up, because there's people that have encountered it. God has shown them what it's going to be like there. And it is probably the scariest thing I've ever heard. It made me so ill to hear it, because it is so, so scary, guys. It is not pleasant. It is not this place you're going to go party, all the sinister things you've done, all the, like, no. No, no, no. It is so scary. It is torture for the for the rest of the time that you're there, which is eternity at the end of the day. Like, you're gonna be stuck there like that. And we don't want people ending up there. We want them in the kingdom of heaven. We want them to Jesus to reach them. That is why we're here, to spread it and to tell other people about it that need it. But before I get off too much topic, what I wanted to talk about today, as far as the corn industry, the OnlyFans, I'll start on that topic and then we'll move to the other things. I'm not going to go off too much into this, but I just want to briefly kind of hit these categories and just say I'm sorry for anybody that is in that industry that has had an unbelievably sad past, and that is why you're there. Because I get it, you guys. I've said in my testimony, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's my first episode. But it is to have sexual abuse and to have been assaulted in some way, even if it was the minorest way, it doesn't matter. If you've had that experience, it really does haunt you, and it changes your mindset. It makes you feel worthless. It makes you feel like that's all you're here for. It is so, like, it is so like a strong hold on your mind, and it just hardens your heart and makes you feel so just sad and depressed, and it's just the worst feeling ever. And so you will do anything you can to fill that hole. And for some reason, women a lot of times go into that industry. And I get why, because back when I was, before I was saved, I thought about it. I never ended up in that industry, but I thought about it. And that's how I felt about myself at the end of the day. Exactly how they feel about themselves. Like, that's what they're here for. It's great money. So I'm not worth anything else anyway. I might as well make money in that way, because I'm not smart enough. I'm not this or that. Like, and that is so far from the truth, y'all. All I have to say too about it too is that is not the industry you want to be in, guys. It is so demeaning to you and your soul and crushing, and it's just, if you are thinking about joining it, please, I beg of you and I pray over you that you will not. Please just say a prayer. Ask God for guidance. If you need help with it, even, I'm here. Comment in there. I can help pray for you. Tell me your name, what your situation is, or I will even give you my number if you need a phone call and we need to pray. Whatever you guys need. Or if you go to a church and just ask them, say, hey, I need some prayer. I've never been here. I have never even know about these things, but I just need some prayer. I'm feeling, whatever which way. There are so many people out there that will help you. And just before you do that, please don't do that to yourself. I beg of you, because it is only more and more it is the worst feeling to have when you result in going to sex, because that feels like that's the only thing you're worth, because it's just not true. And like I said, it is a massive sin too. So it's not the place to be. At the end of the day, God does not want you there. He doesn't want you feeling that way. He knows you're worthy. Even if you have already been in that industry and are leaving that industry, you are still worthy of Him. Do not feel like you are not, because you've already sinned so much, or you've already this or that. It does not matter what you've done. At the end of the day, He will save you guys. It does not matter. So don't think just because maybe you've already been in that industry that you're not worthy of getting out of that industry, because you so are. And if you have other dreams and aspirations, please go do them. Please just go get saved by Him. He will save you. He will redeem you, and He will make you feel at home and at peace, and will take all that away from you. Believe me, I know, because I've felt that way, and He has taken all that away from me. He has completely gotten rid of my past. I do not worry about what I've done in the past anymore. There's still days I feel a little conflicted about it, and I'm like, man, the more just like I feel sorry for the people I've hurt, and wish I could take back what I've done to them, or wish I could take back what I've done to myself, and what made me feel so low. But at the end of the day, He has taken that guilt and all that away from me and made me feel whole, and I'm not alone, and all the things, guys. So I'm just letting you know, like, that industry is not a forever thing. You can still change, things can still change, and please don't enter that industry if you're thinking about it. Like, I just don't want you to, at the end of the day, feel that low, because it will make you feel low. It will take such a hard feeling on your soul, and it is just, it's not it. It's not it. And it is so highly out there right now, and it is such a temptation because of how many people are doing it and how much it's promoted and everything, which is sickening. But we're in Satan's world, so of course, we're living in the world that he has. I wouldn't say control, but because God at the end of the day has control, and He could stop all of this, but He's let us live in this world, and let us have our like will to do it as we want, in the sense. But if you choose not to live that way and live His way, you'll feel so much better. And it doesn't mean that you have to be perfect in a snap of fingers. That's not how that works. I am working on myself every day. There's so many other Christians that still work on themselves. Or, like I said, it doesn't even have to be Christian. If you know, any of the other religions, as long as you have a relationship with God, at the end of the day, that is what matters, and He will help you get through it. You just have to ask Him for the strength. I to this day will ask Him for even for the what you might think is the dumbest thing, like when I go work out. Like, I'll pray and ask Him, hey God, I really need the strength to get through this workout. I'm either tired, not really in the mindset, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter what you're asking Him for. He will answer you. He will be there for you. And so that's as far as I'm going to go as far as that industry goes, because I don't know, it is such a big topic. But I feel like talking too much about it would almost be, I feel like I just don't want to end up bashing the people that are doing it, because again, that's not my place, and I'm not here to do that, and nor do I want to, because like I said, I know how a lot of those girls feel and what they went through to have gotten to that place to think that that's where they should be. So I just want to apologize to you ladies, or men, whoever in that industry, and just feel so low that's why they chose that, or they are going through something internally, whatever the case may be. I just pray that you know that that you can find God to help you through it, and that that you don't feel that way about yourself anymore, because you're so worthy. You are so worthy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter how long you've been in it. It doesn't matter any of that, guys. You're worthy of Him. So just know that. And my next topic would be, as far as that goes, it's kind of all in the same category in a sense, is pleasuring yourself. And the only reason I bring that up next is because, because of the corn industry, a lot of people will pleasure themselves to that. And I hate to tell you guys, corn is so bad to be pleasuring yourself to. That is not, like, honestly, pleasuring yourself at all, and just in my opinion, and because of what I'm learning through the Bible, anything, like Jesus says, anything outside of your marriage essentially is a sin. So if you're pleasuring yourself, even to maybe a video maybe you and your husband made at the end of the day, if he's not there with you, and I don't know, I don't really know the rules as far as like maybe you and your husband watch your guys' video together. I don't know that part, but as far as if your husband is not involved with you in that moment, essentially it's wrong. Like you're whatever is not between you and your husband, sexually, and I mean husband, I don't mean boyfriend, I'm saying husband. It's wrong at the end of the day. So all I'm saying is I know that's very conflicted, and I know for some people that's really hard, especially if you're single, or I don't know, maybe your relationship is not doing the best. So that part of your relationship is kind of being minimalized, and I apologize for that, whether it's because of a baby, whether you're not doing the greatest, whatever the case may be. I'm sorry for that. That is very hard, because we have our needs, we have our desires, but at the end of the day, we can't always fulfill those things, guys. We have to be strong, and like I said, ask God for the strength if that's what you need. At the end of the day, just ask him for the strength to get through it, and maybe have a conversation with your spouse and be like, hey, like, maybe my needs aren't really being met. Is there any way we can work together to make it to where we can, so that way I'm not feeling so conflicted or end up, doing the wrong thing, or whatever the case may be. That is between you and your relationship at the end of the day. But all I am saying is anything outside of you and your husband, I'm sorry, guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it is wrong. So there's that. I know that's crazy. Some people don't realize that pleasuring yourself is wrong, and you would wonder like why, like even if you have good intentions, I'm watching a video me and my husband made or whatever, and I get it, but it's not between you and your husband. You two are not doing that together in the moment, so it's outside of it, it's outside of the marriage essentially. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna be the bearer of bad news for you guys at the end of the day. Um, One of the last things I kind of wanted to hit on, though, is I'll do this a little bit quicker because I have another video that I've already kind of made on this topic and probably will go into more detail about, is like modesty. And I don't mean, and I'm only saying this because I'm also going through this part of my journey, is because I kind of all ties together, because at the end of the day, the corn industry and watching those kind of things, they're showing either themselves completely naked, they're showing women will wear really scandalous things, including myself, and it will attract the male eye, and that is not really helping as far as maybe a man that's trying to be good, trying to follow God, and you're kind of only making it worse for them. And I feel so conflicted about this because I know I have a lot of activewear and it's very complimenting on me and it can attract men. So during certain exercises now, I will, tie my jacket around like my butt area, because I'm trying to help it not be so out there during a certain exercise, so it's less it's less tempting for them to be looking, and also for respecting myself in the sense of they can't sit there and almost sexualize you type of thing. So I'm not saying you have to just dress completely amazing. There's a lot of people out there that preach the gospel that wear really tight clothes and all the thing. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying maybe sometimes there's a time and a place for things. Maybe think about it a little bit more. Maybe try to just ask God. That's between you and him. So you just ask him yourself what he wants you to do, how he would like you to be. I have my own relationship with him, so I can ask him, and that's why I've changed my attire a little bit. I've done, like I said, I'll put a jacket around during certain exercises, or I'll keep my sweats on longer during certain workouts. So again, that's between you and him. You go have that conversation with him on how he wants you to approach that sort of situation. But again, maybe just be a little bit more think about it a little bit more, in the sense, and to where maybe it's not, like I said, as appealing to the male eye. Or if you're a guy, maybe don't wear the tightest thing, so then a woman's checking out your muscles. I don't know. Like I said, that is between you and God, not between me and you. You do what you need to do and what conflicts you, and if it doesn't, okay. If God's not telling you, hey, let's worry about your attire right now, and he has you focused on something else, focus on that. Focus on whatever he wants you to focus on at the end of the day. Don't be listening to what other people say. You're a Christian, you can't dress like that. If God's not telling you to be conflicted about it, don't be conflicted about it. That is between you and him, but you really need to have the conversations with him so you know what journey he wants you on, so he knows what focus, or he's telling you what you need to focus on, and how you need to be, and how to represent him, and all the things, so I'm not going to take up too much more time. I'm just going to end it there. We'll talk about more topics as we go along, but I thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, need any prayer, anything, leave it in the comments, or even if you want me to talk about certain subjects that you're a little bit conflicted on, whatever the case may be, drop that in the comments, and I will get to it next time. Thank you so much, guys. It's a great day to have a great day. Go enjoy the rest of your day.